maintaining. Hello, humans. Hello. How's it going? ZZZ log in. We good, Unk. Hello, Gabby. Hello, Moonlight. I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling. WTF? What happened, man? Yeah, you guys want to see something funny? I was looking at this earlier because a lot of people have issues with my Firefly Nova Flare shit. Right. Why should we buff Boot Hill when Fei Xiao is weaker? Why should we buff Rappa? Look at Goatpo over here. Only 9 limited? Only 9? You know how much Acheron needs? 16. Did you not even sleep? What do you mean? I'm not sleeping for a while until now. Like, I'm probably not gonna sleep for like the next 4 or 5 hours. I'm not even like staying up long. I just woke up late today. Wait, E2 deal still clears? Wait, what? Yo, Loki, I didn't expect this. Oh, Jingliu. Jingliu at the 17? Hello, Rev. It's actually depressing, dude. Dude, oh my god. Saber is just in the dumps, man. This shit is depressing. Genuinely. She's the only 3.x DPS this low. And it's by a good margin, too. The next one is Herda at 9. E2 Silverwolf. Or sorry, DPS Silverwolf is tying with E6 Saber. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty interesting. Mono Rem is 6. Firefly 6. Phanon 6. Archer 6. 6, 5, 5, 5. Hello. My day's actually one of the best, apparently, Solus. E1 My Day, E1 Triby, Cyrene, RMC. Got a 6-0 cycle. Hello, Gabby the Firefly Glazer. Hello. Wait, oh my goodness. Yo, I didn't even realize this. The Acheron DPS clear is just Heislands. What is this fake advertising? Oh my god. They just added E2 Heislands and called it an Acheron team. Holy shit. This has to be a meme team, bro. I wish I had E1 Tribs on that account. Yeah. Herda, Evernight, Cyrene main DPS. Well, it's more accurate to call it duo DPS. Dot. Dot's doing pretty good. Himiko. Oh yeah, because of the infinite break. Small Herda still going strong with Dahlia. Wait, I've never even... Is Firefly in here? Oh, there's no Firefly Pure Fiction clear? I mean, I'm sure it's doable. It's just that no one's bothered. Actually, let me see. Maybe if I make it non-zero cycle, she'll show up, actually. Will Firefly show up if it's just full star? No. Okay. New site? Yeah, apparently one of the people who worked on 2 when it shut down, they decided to make like their own version, so this is it now. Why is Asta there? Because of the speed buff. Buffing Cyrene's speed by an absurd amount gives her, in return, an absurd amount of res pen to buff her damage. So Asta's actually like really good. Oh yeah, really. See APOC. The cheapest 8-pot clear is 1 cost with March 7th and Dahlia. I mean, that's not really surprising. This always happens. It's also 3,500. It's not like it barely scraped by. It actually did pretty good. E6 HMC, E6 Gala with just 1 cost in Dahlia. My Day has the next cheapest. Well, actually, multiple do. It's My Day, Anoxa, Archer, and Evernight. And then it's Firefly at 3. E2 Cassie at 3. That makes sense. E2 Cassie's pretty nice. Ling Sha DBS. Yeah. Herda. E2. Yep. E2 Herda will do it. It's Wei Yi. It's rare to see 4 stars in here sometimes. It's always nice. Holy fuck, what is this? Oh my god. Oh, they count Blade as limited. I mean, that makes sense. You can only get them from the limited banner. This is Harbinger. Archer, Anoxa, Evernight, E2 Faye, surprise, surprise. Dot. Oh, so the best clear with Dot is with Cyrene, yeah. This is a point I wanted to bring up, by the way. A lot of people kept saying that I was lying about Dot's team being able to use Cyrene and it be competitive, if not better sometimes as compared to Swan. But like, it is a real thing. You know? Like, it's no longer Cyrene easily beating Swan like it used to be. But Cyrene still has a lot of matchups that can be favorable. People pretend like Black Swan just made Cyrene useless or something. Firefly at 4. Cyrene. Main deep. Wait, no. That's definitely an Evernight main DPS. Don't make me fall for that. Fei Xiao with a 5. Fei Xiao Nova Flare. That one sounds pretty good, man. Because, like, Fei Xiao could really use a Nova Flare. Fei Xiao and Acheron. The fact they did for Firefly, like, come on. Give one to Fei Xiao and Acheron, too. People think that? Yeah, people were trying to dunk on me on, I think, my... I don't remember what video it was. Because I gave the opinion that, I think it might have been my Firefly video. At some point I mentioned that Dot can use Cyrene. But people are like, nah, triple Dot is like way ahead. There's no... You never use Cyrene, but that's not really the case. Yeah, Goko got this 6 cost. Hyoscene. Yeah, here's the triple dot team. The triple dot team is at 6. The Siren one is at 4. Herda, E2, always. Boot Hill, 6 cost. Fireflies was 4. Try to be main DPS. Or actually, this is just everybody DPS. It's not Triby main DPS. E2 Sylvie, Ling Sha. Saber, I think once again is the lowest 3-point-X DPS. Yep, she is. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Yo, why is Saber tying with Chingcho? Holy fuck. My headset just turned off by itself. I always need to keep it connected for some reason. E1 Saber in shambles? Yeah. Acheron. This is my point, by the way. When it comes to like Nova Flare teams and characters, when people try to argue so hard about like support synergy, and support synergy meaning you don't need to buff a DPS, this is what ends up happening, bro. Like, look at Acheron. Acheron, when she got Cypher, right? Actually, do they have it? I don't think they do. They do. Please tell me you have clears on this. I remember it. Acheron had very low cost clears. Yep. You see my fucking point? You see my fucking point? Acheron gets Cypher. Massive boost to her ability to clear endgame. Starts getting 3 cost 0 cycles. The same logic people are using for Firefly not getting Nova Flared currently, you could have used with Acheron back here. Right? Literally half a year ago. But if you were someone in the current time period with revisionism, you'd be able to understand this is not enough. And you need to buff the DPS too. And this is my point. This is the point I've been trying to get across in all my Firefly videos. It's not that she deserves the Nova Flare more than other characters. I realize there are others that may be more desperate for it. But it is that if you do not buff Firefly, her ability to clear endgame, as easy as it looks currently, will fall off quick as shit. Because it's mainly carried by Dahlia Fugue and not Firefly herself, in my opinion. Like, look at this. Acheron, 3 cost 0 cycle. We fast forward to here, and she's now at 9, I think, right? 9? Yeah, 9. The same thing happened to Blade and Jingliu. Blade and Jingliu got their buffs. They then, like, people were like, oh my god, they're so strong. They don't need to buff them anymore because they had the Triby Hyoscene synergy. And now they're struggling significantly more because they weren't buffed enough. But yeah, that's just why I think Firefly deserves a Nova Flare. Other people deserve Nova Flares too, like Acheron. I'm pretty sure that Acheron performance was decently consistent too. Like if I go to, well, Hule is definitely going to cost Acheron more. I'm going to guess like 5 or 6 here for Acheron. Yeah, 5. Because Hule is just pure single target. But it ain't a fucking 9 like it is currently. Oh yeah, the Welt Nova Flare is going to be really cool to see. No, I agree, Sevens, but like my point is all these people care so much about like a character not getting Nova flared because they're mad their fave isn't getting Nova flared earlier. But it's like it's mainly Dahlia who's carrying the power of the break ability to clear endgame, right? Like, that's what I've kind of been trying to get across to people. Firefly needs to get a buff herself. This also applies to the other break DPSs, by the way. It applies to a lot of DPSs in this game, but you cannot rely solely on a single character on the team completely carrying your power level. That always ages fucking terribly every time. Mm. Wait, I can actually check. What was Anoxa's best low cost clears pre Cyrene? If I remember correctly, Anoxa needed a disgusting amount of cost. I think. Oh, never mind. Wait, no, this is Cyrene. Ah, shit. This MOC reset bled into the patch. Okay, I gotta go 3.5, I guess. But, like, oh, man. 3.5 had an easy MOC. I guess Xandar is the best example. Yeah, 4 with a significantly weaker boss. I remember that pre Cyrene, Anoxa's best clear against this shit was like 6 cost. This Flame Reaver right here. I remember that shit. Archer pre buff Sparkle was using 4. I mean, like, the jokes write themselves. I'm sorry. The jokes genuinely write themselves. Saber is so trash. You can see other clears clicking on Anoxa. Oh. Oh, yeah, there's 30 entries. The best non-Cyrene clear was 5. Okay, it wasn't 6, it was 5. So he needs 5 cost without Cyrene, 3 with Cyrene. I'm assuming they used Dawn Hung PT here to eat through Flame Reaver's clones. So it actually worked decently well. Yeah, this was probably the one I saw at the time. It was probably this one right here. This was the 6 cost, I remember probably. E1 Seri, E1 Trivi, probably E0 S1 Fae, E6 RMC. I mean, Evernight, it's like, yep. Wait, isn't that a Battle Pass Lycone? Man, like, why? How in the world are Battle Pass Lycones not considered a cost? Like, it genuinely baffles me. People will, like, go so hard against literal free characters you get from logging into the game within, like, a 100 days time span, not accounting as cost. But, like, this has to just go, bro. This genuinely has to go. Like, how do you obtain a Battle Pass Lycone without spending money? You can't. Is it the same here or nah? Okay. Oh, all clears with a battle pass have an emblem. Are you talking about this one next to the name right here? Yes. Oh, okay. So this uses battle pass. This uses battle pass Evernight. Firefly uses battle pass. They're probably using Battle Pass code on HMC. Yeah. That was just an instant guess, bro. That shit was so fucking obvious. People love using the Battle Pass Harmony code on HMC. Battle Pass on this one? Is it also Evernight? Yeah. Oh, it's two of them. One on Evernight, one on Cassie. Low cost looks inside S5 Battle Pass. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah. Phanon team, 20 entries. Wait, so without Battle Pass, Evernight goes up to 4, I guess. And without Battle Pass, Firefly goes up to 5. So in reality, Firefly's power level is more similar to a Fei Xiao in MOC. Still good, though. Okay, I'm lying to myself. Phanon team? 3, 3, 3. It's just all threes. Oh, okay. No E2 Phanon. Mmm. No E2 Phanon getting a 3 limited cost clear against Harbinger. That's pretty good. In my opinion, E0 Phanon's issues, he doesn't really have issues in Phanon, or in Phanon, in MOC that much in my opinion. Phanon's issues are so much more in APOC and Pure Fiction without his E2. Like, they are so much worse. In MOC, it's like the only mode where he doesn't hurt too much from not having his E2. Like, he can actually kind of live it. But in APOC and PF, not so much in my opinion. I mean, I can check right now, actually. Yeah, there isn't a single zero cycle from this guy in Pure Fiction without E2. Which, like, should have been obvious, but... An anomaly. E6, E6, E6. Let me just make it clear. Show all runs. There isn't a single one with E0. And there isn't a single Pure Fiction run at E0 either. Like, I swear to God, you only find this shit in MOC, man. Oh, you're in play? Yeah, I just realized. Accidentally. Now I'm in APOC. Right, let's see Faye. Wait, did I skip him? Oh, no, he's down here. Yo. There's only one APOC Phanon run, apparently, at 20 cost. Plight is... Well, normal. Wait, Yao Guang DPS? Going crazy? Yao Guang, Huo Huo, Asta, RMC. Oh, it's a 6 cycle. Okay. For a second, I thought this was full star. Yeah, for a second, I thought it was full star. I mean, the fact it works at all is kind of impressive, though. And then her does the Pure Fiction GOAT. She's been the Pure Fiction GOAT since release, basically, at this point. It's not really that surprising. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I say what I say about Firefly, man. I know other DPSs need buffs too, but like, you can't just ignore Firefly's issues because you're mad your favorite isn't getting Nova Flared before her. Like, I also want Aggron to get Nova Flared. I want the other break DPSs to get Nova Flared too. But it seems like the way they do Nova Flares, popularity does matter, so. Is Cyrene DPS meta? Unironically, yes. Like, genuinely, yes. Because her quote-unquote best support is Evernight. So in reality, it's more like a duo DPS team. But also, it's so easy to buff Cyrene's damage with massive speed buffs that it makes Asta genuinely viable. So like if we go down here, Cyrene duo DPS with Evernight is... Actually, no. Let me find something more fair. Yeah. So, like, right here would be a little more fair. It's like 6 cost against MOC. In Pure Fiction, Cyrene can get a pretty easy clear. I wonder how APOC is, though. Okay, APOC is scuffed. I mean, they're trying to go for 0 AV. But, I mean, let me see. Is there another one? No, it's just people trying to go for 0 AV. Anon Cyrene team also has a pretty good clear against Plight. And then normal Sparks Econ, Cyrene has a pretty cheap clear with Tribby and RMC and Gala. If we move it to 0 cycle, about 5 cost. Right here. Look for Kafka on APOC. Oh. Yeah, she has a 1 cost clear against Kafka. Cyrene main DPS. If I make it wait, why can't I make this 0 cycle? But yeah. Check a Glea. 6 cost against Harbinger. Probably like 5 against Cocolia. 4 or 5. It does not want to load. I guess I'll look at Pure Fiction. So, Pure Fiction 9. Oh. If we go to Bronya, 9 again. To be honest, I'm surprised Aglaia can 0 cycle Pure Fiction at 9. This is actually surprising to me for some reason. This is decently impressive, no? I guess because of the fact that she's someone who scales off speed, so she gets a ton of attacks off. But I wasn't really expecting that. APOC. Oh, this is kind of unfair though, no? This is Pollux. Well, an Aglaia clear doesn't exist against Pollux apparently, so it doesn't even matter. Aggie. Wait, there's no Aggie clear here either. Well, I guess no one likes using Aggie in APOC. I ran Yao Guang, Cyrene, Tribby, and Hyacine and got 40k on Pure Fiction. Nice. Sounds clean. But yeah. I guess if you really want to see like highly vertically invested teams and how they do, it's always Anomaly Arbitration. This also helps you see, you know what? This is actually a good way to see how hard Mono Rem scales. Because if you go to like 0 cycle and we go to Sparks Econ, Evernight is at 5. Mono Rem. Wait, no. Well, this is technically quote unquote Mono Rem, but It's a bit different, right? Where's the actual mono-rem? There it is. Real mono-rem is at about 8 cost, which is like 3 away from Evernight Hyper Carry. But if you put this shit on Plight, you can start to see mono-rem catch up cost versus cost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can really start to see it getting better over time. And then, they don't have it here. But fuck, dude. Anything above this is just generational. No, yeah, Cassie is the weak link, as sad as it is, at base in a mono rem team. She is the weak link. It's her vertical investment that really gets her going. Would Firefly be worth getting if her Nova Flare is as good as you think it will be? Yeah. Yeah. I don't think she'll be stronger than the Elation teams. I think that should be obvious to anybody. So if you're weighing like meta wise, you know, what can get me the most value out of my pulls? No, I probably wouldn't get Firefly, even after a Nova Flare. But it would still be very worth it, and she'd probably last a good while. So, and then on top of this, depending on how much exactly they buff the E1 and E2, if they do what I personally think they will do, which is they will move the E1's defense shred and increase it on her E2, and then make her E2 an extra turn every other turn, like E2 Phanon gets in Pure Fiction, right? So the other turn is in base kit, E2 gets buffed with defense shred, and then the E1 still fixes her skill point gen issues, but also has speed buff to make her hit thresholds easier. Like if they buff her Eidolons like that, then yeah, it'd be pretty good and it would last quite a while. Because her Eidolons aren't as strong as like most of you probably think, right? I'll actually go to Pride one and show you guys right now. The main value in her E1 especially is like the skill point positivity, but like every other turn is not as strong as you guys think it is. It's like an opportunity cost thing in zero cycles usually. HSR, Firefly. So like if I go over here, in a 3 target scenario, her E2 jump is about 50%. Right. It's a 50% jump getting her E2. Like this thing isn't as strong as people actually think it is. Because every other turn is like kind of rare. Like that isn't often at all. Phanon at E2 gets significantly more frequent extra turns as compared to Firefly. Actually, we can compare this right now. So Firefly at E2 gets about a 52% buff. So let's go to Phanon in comparison so you guys can see how vast the difference is. Phanon at E2, 3 targets, it's about a more than 2x increase for sure. From 1.8 to 4.6. Which is about a 2.5x increase. So this E2 jump is 3 times as powerful as Firefly's E2 jump. Yeah. So when people tell me like, "Oh, you're just dreaming," if you think they're gonna put E2 in base kit, buff the E2 a little more, and buff the E1 a little more, like that wouldn't be. Well, it would change a lot. It'd make her significantly more valuable and stronger, but it wouldn't be as crazy as they think it would. Like it wouldn't power creep, for example. The Elation teams would probably definitely still be stronger. And this is kind of my point. People are like, "Oh no, what do you mean you want Firefly to get buffed? If Firefly gets buffed, she's gonna be stronger than some of the version 3 teams." But it's like, didn't this already happen? Like this is you know, it's kind of a recency bias thing because we just got into version 4. But like Nova Flared Jingliu and Nova Flared Blade were getting better clears than Acheron pre Cypher. And the only version 2 DPS that could keep up with them was like Fei Xiao and MOC clears. You know what I'm saying? So these people think it's like impossible in their minds for a Nova Flared character in version 4 to be stronger than a majority of the V3 teams. But that isn't the case. It is very likely, in my opinion, Firefly is stronger than almost all V3 teams when she gets her Nova Flare. Just like Blade was and Jingliu was when they got theirs, right? Like if we go over here to 3.4. Oh wait, this is Anon, I forgot. If we go over here to 3.4, I bet you we're going to see Jingliu. Well, we can just compare it. Okay, here we are. So yeah, you have Acheron, who got Cypher, and then Fei Xiao. Right. So Jingliu is at 4 cost, and well, yeah, Jingliu is at 4 cost. So Jingliu, this is 3.4, so she got Nova Flared, is going against this endgame content, and she's stronger than nearly all the version 2 teams. Yun Li is like a bit of a cheat code because you have no sustained issues with her follow-ups because of her damage reduction, and Svarog constantly attacking, which is annoying. Also, the HP was low. But you can kind of see my point, right? If we go up a little more, it'll probably be even more obvious. Like here, this might be the one that filters it. Holy shit. Dude, is Silverwolf DPS really this good? Like, I've seen so many Silverwolf DPS showcases recently. There's no way it's that good. But yeah. Firefly is already stronger than My Day and Aglaia in my opinion. Around the same tier as Dot. And that's while considering that she hasn't received a Nova Flare yet. The thing is, I agree. I agree when it comes to like normal blast content and just like MOC content. But the thing is, a lot of these Chrysos Air teams have better verticals and they can be more usable against certain endgame content like pure fiction, right? Like they're more well rounded, if that makes sense, because of their verticals being buffed and having less issues, in my opinion. I agree in MOC though. Yes, Firefly is like kind of a goat. Firefly's already doing very well in my opinion. Like Firefly's right here at the 3 cost range with Evernight, My Day, Anoxa, and Archer. But like, if you got Archer for free, it's even cheaper than this. Archer has, to be honest, been this guy's the anomaly, right? This guy's definitely an anomaly. I did not expect him to be as strong as he was. I did not expect him to then get buffed by a buff Sparkle again. And I did not expect buff Sparkle to be free either. This guy is absurd. I can't believe they've kind of left Saber in the dust at this point, and they're just shilling Archer this hard. Surely Ho-Ho Nova Flare helps Saber a lot more. Firefly does not need to be better at AoE since Break already has other AoE DPSs and supports to compensate. Um, I get where you're getting at, but this is like saying that you don't need to make a, you know, quote unquote, like whatever Chrysos Air DPS better against multiple endgame modes, because you can just replace said DPS with another Chrysos Air DPS. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cyrene plus RMC can be used as a Chrysos Air DPS, you know, combo that works with damn near every single one in the game. And then you could be like, oh, just fucking put Herda or something, or put Evernight in there instead. Which, like, yeah, it's true. But in my opinion, that's kind of unfair. Just a little bit. Because E2 Faye, like, in comparison to Firefly, like, E2 Faye changes everything for his pure fiction performance. It's disgusting. Right? Like, E2 Faye is getting 7 cost 0 cycles again. Oh my god, buff Sparkle again. But, like, you can see here, right? Like, an E0 Faye, never gonna, you know, reach this level at all. You'd need disgusting levels of investment to catch up to an E2 Faye with an E0 Faye in terms of pure fiction performance. Because it's this game changing. He legit gets an extra turn every turn he takes. And also to like go back to the thing earlier, it's like, yeah, I know Firefly is strong, but once again, I think they're gonna Nova Flare Firefly to be stronger than the majority of V3 teams. This has been a guess I've had since literally the first leak came out, that Anon made in like 3.6 or something. I thought for sure they'd make Firefly with Nova Flare stronger than a majority of V3 teams. But then it's like, it's not the worst, right? Here's the thing when it comes to these Nova Flares. Yes, temporarily your V3 DPS that you invested a bit into will be weaker than a Firefly who got chilled to all hell. Okay? Yes, I agree. But the second V5 hits, they're probably going to start buffing 3.x characters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a constant back and forth, if you can kind of get what I'm saying, of V3 DPSs are stronger. V4 Nova Flare DPSs can be competitive, if not stronger than some of the V3 DPSs. And then V5 buffs the V3 DPSs, and now they're significantly stronger than the V2 ones that got Nova Flared, right? Or like even the V1 ones like Seal or something. Thing is, Rappa isn't even good in AoE. That would be Himeko. No, I know. Rappa is. I mean, I just haven't really seen her. She's good now. She's better now with Dahlia for sure. Because it's not like Dahlia was only a Firefly buff. People complain about Dahlia because she has a bias towards Firefly, but she still buffed Rappa too. But yeah, Himeko seems to be like the pure fiction break goat because of the constantly spamming follow ups. Which is like, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. It was way more hilarious when it first came out and people were doing it. Oh my god. Was it when Fugue came out that people started doing like the infinite follow up spam with Himeko, or was it even earlier? Is Fei Xiao stronger than Firefly without the Dahlia and Fugue? Yes. That's not even a fucking question, bro. Don't ask that question ever again. Firefly is questionable without Dahlia Fugue. It is questionable. That's all I'm gonna say. Fei Xiao is a goat because of how well she can use March 7th and Moe's. Like, she can use them so well. It's disgusting, right? Like, we can go over here. This is, keep in mind, right? You've had Acheron, who got buffed with Cypher. You've had Firefly, who has gotten buffed with Dahlia, and she got Fugue, right? Fei Xiao still hasn't gotten a new best in slot teammate for follow up after all this time, and she is still doing this. The same teammates from fucking like 2.4, 2.5. Because Moe's, I believe that's when Moe's came out. And then Robin. And she's still doing it. It just doesn't matter. Cyrene Facial? I low-key didn't think of this. Oh yeah, E2 Facial with Eagle being able to ult spam as much as she does is also goaded. Like, I remember, oh my god, people complained so much in Facial beta because she needed the full 12 stacks to activate ultimate. So they ended up reducing it to 6, so you can decide, oh, if you want to ult at 6 or 8 stacks or whatever, like, you can do whatever you want. I don't think they were aware of the eagle abuse you could do with her at E2. I could be wrong, and maybe I'm like underestimating the Hoyo testers. I don't think they were aware of how strong eagle would be with an E2 Facial. I mean, I'm talking about Facial right now, Solus. Oh yeah, true. There are people who still argue about Topaz being best in slot for Facial. Like, that still happens to this day. I was talking about it on stream a few days ago about like Facial's longevity and the ability to use like March 7th and Moe's. But people sometimes still come to my content are like, Topaz still best in slot. Well, I guess now it's like a bit of a different argument. Sometimes they bring up the fact that Topaz is now on the golden token, so you can counter as free. I was like, you know, I give more leeway to Ruan Mei because she's a generalist support who really helps APOC clears. But I don't know how many people use the golden token for Topaz, man. Like, maybe. 40 Maru. Please don't embarrass yourself any further. I can't stand my fave CC getting clowned on by a 2-womp Discord server. I don't care. They can say what they want. It's fine. I mean, I'm not no HOS, man. I am not. I only really know in depth about teams or characters I care about. Like, you guys could probably instantly realize this. The amount of effort I've put into understanding Yao Guang is far beyond anything else I've put effort into in my life in this game. Okay? Like, I care so much about the upcoming Elation DPSs, Evanesia, Sparksy, and what's it called, Silverwolf SP, that I've gone out of my way to basically read between the lines for everything in Yao Guang's kit. But if it's a team I don't really care about, like let's say Dot, right? It was only recently that I took an interest in Dot. I don't know how to fucking play this team. You think I'm gonna pretend like I know how to play this team? Fuck no. I don't know how to play Aglaya optimally. I don't know how to play Boot Hill. I mean, I did used to have E2 Herda. I used to do low cost zero cycles on Herda, but I stopped playing on that account. I don't know how to do Silver Wolf or any of that shit. Stuff like that. So yeah, like if I take a strong interest in a character, then usually I spend more time trying to understand the team, their strength, their flaws, all that shit. But if it's someone I don't really care about, I mean, I don't give a shit. Like people on my video about talking about Firefly deserves a Nova Flare are commenting about notice how he made 2 Firefly videos and he hasn't made a video for like some other random ass 2.x DPS like Yun Li or something, right? Like, surely this means that you're just in the wrong. It's like, no, I just don't care about anybody else. I care more about Acheron getting Nova Flared and Firefly than, like, anyone else currently. Acheron Nova Flare, just make her the Herda with better multipliers. And then, what's it called? Oh yeah, also buff her Eidolons. And then Firefly, just move around the E2. Holy voice crack. E2 Dan Heng. Oh my goodness. The E2 deal still lives. I think Sunday needs a buff too. Sunday will probably get a buff in like version 5 or something. And that's when like Saber might be competitive with Archer. Like now you have Nova Flared Sunday, and then you also have a Nova Flared Huohuo. I think that's probably when at least a Stain Team Saber will probably be competitive. Why is E2 Dill under QQ? Because QQ built different. There's no other explanation. Fugue needs buffs. The monkey's paw curls. You now buff Nova Flare Firefly even more, and now she's for sure stronger than like even Mono Rem. That's what happens if you buff Fugue. I mean, it's better than a specific Firefly buff because you buff all break DPSs or like anybody you use with break, but I think that might be a little too strong. You know, like she gets a Nova Flare, she gets a Dahlia, she gets a Fugue buff. That might be a little too much in my opinion. I don't know. Hello. QQ1 costed Nikador and 2 costed 3.1 Reaver. Yeah, I remember that. QQ and Serval were like QQ, Serval, and Seal. I remember this. Like these were the main ones getting really good clears, free to play clears against Nikador when he first came out. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Show this. Oh my god. Serval 2 cost 0 cycling, Jade 2 cost 0 cycling, Herda 1 cost, Zhuyi main DPS 1 cost. You'd never see this these days. You'd never see this these days. The downfall of HSR, man. Look at what HP inflation took from us. Wow. A 2 cost 0 cycle from Seal? That is something generational to see. Argenti? Wow. It almost brings a tear to one's eyes, man. It almost brings a tear. Times have changed? Yeah. Times have changed. You know, is it crazy to say Phanon is similar to Anoxa? I was going to make my video mainly on this and then I changed it to like the Firefly Nova Flare thing. But the original premise of the video was talking about how Phanon is literally just Firefly. This guy has quote unquote best in slot supports. Best in slot support has more synergy with Anoxa instead. He has severe AV issues and wants extra turns. He has base speed issues similar to Firefly when you're trying to get her to certain speed thresholds. And they are both E2 merchants. Like Firefly and Phanon are way too similar. I mean, at least Phanon can get like over time buffed by generalists, but it's like Yeah, no 4 stars. Holy burp. No 4 stars. Moses. Gallagher. Pela. Mose. I guess if you want to include Cyrene main DPS like Asta. March 7th, Hunt. Like, those are some goated 4 stars. Ting Yun. Yeah, Ting Yun too. Ting Yun has kind of stuff. I mean, Ting Yun is just like I'm pretty sure I only see Ting Yun on E2S0 Phanon 3 cost 0 cycles to just like cheat the cost. Yeah, I think Phanon is the only one who can reliably 0 cycle with Ting Yun. By the way, guys, I found this out recently when I was just showing you guys this earlier. Dude, why is Everknight's Eidolon investment like this? Remember this number, right? 560 at E6. Oh, wait. Oh, they do have similar vertical investment. Oh, it's because I was looking at one target, so it looked more wild. Oh, it's because of that E1 for sure, with the 50% increase. So it's about the same as Phanon's. It's similar to Phanon's. Wait, actually, no, her E2 jump is higher, apparently, on average. Or similar, whatever. Everknight and Phanon, I guess, go blow for blow in terms of Eidolon investment. Everknight's stronger, though, at base. Like, way stronger than Phanon. And she can get the performance with sustain, which is better for majority of players. What do you think about Phanon's Lycone? It's probably the most general destruction Lycone in the game. Um, where is it? If I remember correctly, it's defense shred, base speed increase, and damage bonus. Wait. Oh. Lycons. Over here. "12 base speed increase, ignores 18% defense, and after using ultimate get damage bonus." This light cone and its super impositions can actually be competitive with going to his E6 in terms of raw damage. But I'd still rather get his E6 because even though the super impositions on the light cone can be better, the way the true damage works makes it so that you waste less damage against endgame content. So like the only time the light cone would probably be better is shared HP boss, right? Like the recent AA with this guy. This is the only place where Phanon's Lycones, like shared HP boss, it would be more worth it. But his E6 is still better. But it's also more expensive, So it's like, pick your poison. 10 less hard pity and a higher chance of winning, but it doesn't have as much QOL. Or Phanon E6, which is more expensive, but probably better for down the line. Because keep in mind, I do think this matters when taking into account character value and like Eidolon versus Lycone. This game will Nova Flare characters Eidolons, but won't Nova Flare Lycones, right? So this does matter. In the future, if Phanon ever gets Nova Flared, the one Eidolon that they need to Nova Flare the most on that guy, even though it's unrelatable, so most of you won't care, it's his E6, okay? His E6, allowing him to overcap on stats, is fucking useless on a Cyrene team. You get like an extra 45% crit damage or something. Oh yeah, break characters, especially now, are significantly more reliant on Dahlia. The point I tried to make in my last video is that pre-Dahlia, you kinda could get away to some extent using alternatives to some of the break supports. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, a lot of the Firefly clears I saw pre-Dahlia, starting from like version 3, a majority of them, or a lot of them at least, used E1 Tribby in Sustainless. So they used E1 Tribby. But you don't see that anymore because Dahlia is such an insane buff to break. It's only now where you have like a situation where you break now has a support that is like Kafka levels. You know what I'm saying? They now have a support that is Kafka levels in terms of buffing them. So that's like a no-brainer. And then you also have Fugue, HMC, or Ruan Mei. You're not really going to fit a Tribby in there most of the time. The glow up break DPS's got from Dahlia was significant. To be honest, the outrage against Dahlia's favoritism to Firefly is kind of funny because nobody had this outrage. In fact, I saw people celebrating the fact that Firefly got the least of a buff from Fugue when she released. People do not like Firefly, man. I guess you can argue it's not the same situation because it's a specific trace, but like I feel like Firefly hate is just on its own level, personally. Feel free to disagree though. The testers forgot to test Saber damage for sure. I mean, like, it's bad. Like, it is bad. I'm not gonna lie. Um, do you guys think they'll Nova Flare collab characters? Because if they do, my bet is on Saber being the first one they Nova Flare. Before Ceredra, before Phanon, before any of them. It has to be Saber. There's no other way. It's either you Nova Flare Saber or you Nova Flare Sunday. If you Nova Flare Sunday, similar to a Buff Sparkle situation, I bet she can cut the cost on this by a large margin. But if there's no Sunday Nova Flare, like you just need to Nova Flare this character. Do you need E6 Saber to get good clears, or do you just need E2 Cyrene and Donhung PT? I mean, it depends what you consider a good clear. Zero cycles, things are always going to be more expensive than they seem. But when you're just going for like normal clears, probably like 3, 4 cycles, the average, she does not need that investment at all. Cocolia is kind of a cheat because she's so easy, but like Saber over here has a 4, and it's with Cyrene, Silverwolf, RMC. I guess we could go back to like, I mean, these are double. I guess I can do Hule because she's bounce and wind weak. Yunli's always the one that gets good clears against Hule. Six, E2 Cyrene, Robin. I mean, this is just the issue with the collab characters. Hoyo made their vertical investment so trash to the point they need to rely on support verticals, which although are overall better value, specifically for buffing one DPS, it's usually not the greatest. Like, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys this. Her E0 to E2 jump is less than 50%. It's like genuinely depressing. For reference, if we go over here, Acheron. Okay, maybe it's not Acheron levels bad, but it's fucking near it, okay? It's near it in all honesty. Actually, I believe when they did these Acheron calcs, they didn't run Harmony Acheron back then because people weren't aware that Harmony plus Nihility was better. So you actually wouldn't see a difference at all from E2 other than Stack Gen, probably. But yeah, it's like weaker than Firefly's jump. Firefly's is like 50%, something like that. Who else? Like Boo Hill, maybe? Boo Hill? I don't even know this guy's Eidolons. This is one guy I definitely didn't look at. Wow. I do know one of his early Eidolons is just QOL to get ramped up faster, but jeez, I did not know V2 Eidolons were this bad. This makes me think about like what are V4 Eidolons gonna look like for the main DPSs. Well, yeah, E2 Dill is for sure higher though. I know for a fact E2 Dill, yeah, E2 Dill is 70%. So it just depends on the DPS you pick. Mm. Firefly hate is at such a level you can within the first minute of a video explain that other characters should get buffed and they refuse to hear it and get mad. No, exactly. Like I said it in the beginning of the video. I think I say it again around the middle and I say it again near the end. I say it 2 or 3 times. I know for sure 2, but I don't know about 3. And keep in mind, it's not even the first minute. It's like the first 5 or 10 seconds of the video. And it's just the majority of the comments venting that they want their fave to get buffed before Firefly does. Right? It's like I understand it. I know there are like other characters that definitely deserve a Nova Flare more, but you kind of just got to take the hit on the fact that they care about your popularity. Right? Like I kind of have to come to terms with the fact I do not think Anoxa will get a Nova Flare for a long time. Phanon will definitely get a Nova Flare long before Anoxa does. Right? Because Phanon is just that much more popular, and it's much easier to sell supports for him as compared to someone like Anoxa. I could be wrong. We'll see how that goes like a year from now. But I don't think I will be. Phanon will probably be one of the first DPSs that gets Nova Flared from V3. How come Acheron is not getting a Nova Flare? She probably will. She probably will. My guess is that her Nova Flare is probably near the end of this version or early V5. I see it either or. I don't think they'd miss the opportunity to Nova Flare Acheron at all. The thing is, Acheron got Cypher in 3.3. Yes, this did not fix her issues, obviously. I think we can all agree on that. However, they actually gave Acheron a bone at the time. Firefly didn't get a bone until nearly fucking 3.8. Right? And now they're Nova Flaring her, so they can sell Dahlia on a rerun. So, in my opinion, they are going to likely Nova Flare Acheron at some point, and they probably are also gonna make a support she can use way better than anybody else similar to Dahlia for Break. That one could be a little more cope because like Break is an entire archetype while Acheron is just Acheron. But I don't know. I feel like it could still work somehow. But yeah, I do think Acheron's gonna get Nova Flared soon. It just makes sense. People thought Acheron didn't need a Nova Flare because she was getting clears like this when she got Cypher. 3 costs against True Sting, like 5 costs against Hule. Yeah, for an AoE DPS, that's impressive. Oh. E6 Clara going crazy. How are the first Nova Flared batch characters holding up in the current meta? Silverwolf is good. What were the 3.4 Nova Flares again? It was Silverwolf, Jingliu Blade, and who else? Kafka. Kafka and Silverwolf are good. Ironically, the 2 supports. But the 2 DPS's, Blade and Jingliu, fell off decently quick. Because the game kind of just like temporarily buffed them and used them to sell the Hyacine Tribi team. That's the main reason. So this is, once again, I come back to the Firefly discussion. Dahlia carries a majority of the power budget of this team. Yes, it clears well currently, but it'll end up clearing significantly worse if you don't fix Firefly's problems down the line when much more HP inflation and power creep hits. You can't only rely on the support in a team to carry the value. This doesn't mean Firefly isn't best in slot, by the way, as like the goated break DPS. She is currently better than other options, especially because of Dahlia's bias towards buffing her. But it's not enough. I guarantee you, halfway through version 4, the cost Firefly will need for clearing MOC is going to, this is going to go up to like 6, right? That's my guess. It's going to go up to 6. And then late version 4, it'd probably be around like 7 or 8. This is if theoretically Firefly never got a Nova Flare. She'd kind of be an Acheron situation right now. Acheron's getting like 9, right? What, I think it's 9? Yeah, 9 against Harbinger. I don't know how much it is against Cocolia. Maybe like 6. That's going to be my guess. 6 or 7. Oh, 5 actually. Better than I thought. Just got Yao Guang. Is she good for Elation? Yeah. 6, 7? Okay, man. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, by the way, if you can realize the fact that I am saying Firefly deserves a Nova Flare, you can also understand the context clues. I do think we are about to get a disgusting amount of power creep. By a large margin with this Silverwolf Elation team. I think it's going to be very disgusting. And so I'd prefer it if they started buffing older characters faster and they keep up this like 2-patch Nova Flare cycle that they're currently doing. Best Fei Xiao team if I don't have Cypher or Robin. RMC Tribi? Or just Tribi as an AoE support, probably. RMC is probably a cope option. I was thinking I was sustainless. Tribi, probably. When's beta? Wait, is 28th the last day of February? RMC is better than Buff Sparkle? No, probably not. I thought you were talking about like third slot AoE support. Let me see, calendar. Okay, yeah. So we should get beta in 2 days. This is gonna be such a chaotic beta. Jesus, dude. I need to mentally prepare myself for this shit. I got Yao Guang. Is she good with Archer? She is. Standard banner. First DPS. Firefly. Everybody hates her. Whoa, whoa. Elation DPS is in Yao Guang controversy. EMC. It's 8 characters. Yeah, it's 8 characters. Wait. You have the Nova Flares. You have the 2 DPSs. You have Ashvale currently. And then you have EMC. Yeah, there's going to be 8 characters getting tested in 2 days. And then we got V3 Ashvale. I don't think Ashvale is getting nerfed, by the way. I've said this like a million times. If anything, if he gets changes, it's probably going to be a buff. I think they'll buff his charge ability. But I don't think he'll get nerfed. I thought the beta's on the 10th. No. 10th was the second possibility according to leakers. But most of them believe it's on the 2nd. If it isn't on the 2nd, then yes, it is on the 10th. So that would also line up more, right? Like the 4.1 patch is 2 weeks shorter, so you'd move up the beta by 2 weeks. However, the current, theory of it being pushed up 3 weeks is weird, but I mean, I guess. I assume they want people to actually see how much better Yao Guang is over other options for the Elation DPSs, because Yao Guang probably isn't selling the best currently. You have a entire patch long banner. The only quote unquote Elation DPS you have available to see Yao Guang's value on is an actual hidden sub DPS for Silverwolf. And a lot of people are burned from the Cassie team thinking that Tribby would have stayed best in slot, and then they ended up releasing Cyrene Evernight. So it used to be Evanesia, but it was changed to Silverwolf according to Anon. So Silverwolf has the gimmick ult, synergizes with the sub DPS. Probably going to be the mono Elation team where everybody does damage, all that. Rappa Eidolon boost is V1 level? Is it that bad? I've never even looked at Rappa, bro. Oh wait, this is an unreleased character. Maybe I shouldn't be showing this. Holy, carried by E6. It's stronger in 1 target, but 3 target it kind of falls off a bit. I think Evanesia will have energy problems. Well, well, well. Guess who's coming out around that time? Whoa, whoa! Oh my god. From Down Under. By the way, if you guys have seen my recent Whoa Whoa video, I'm predicting Whoa Who's Nova Flare will buff her ER gen, so she can fill half of the team's ultimate. That is my guess. It'll massively help the ER issues that some of these teams have. More ER, stronger heals, more out of turn healing. Probably buff the attack buff as well. Now that she has more out of turn heals, she doesn't need to skill every single turn, meaning she can use basic. It also synergizes with the dot team, allowing them to get more Kafka attacks off, follow up attacks, shit like that. A lot of people have speculated about them adding the E1 speed buff in base kit, but I don't think so. I think that might be a little too much. I don't know. I feel like the E1 being added to base kit might be a little too much. But you guys can, believe in that, I guess. I can see the E1 speed buff getting buffed, but I don't know about it going in base kit. Maybe they'll make her compatible with non-energy DPSs like Faye and Acheron. I mean, if they did that, Whoa would be best in slot for Cyrene, no? As a sustain? If she could generate 12 stacks for Cyrene on her ultimate every time? Well, of course, outside of HP scaling teams. Yeah, Dan Heng PT would get fucked over by that pretty hard if it was that strong. Wait, low key, yeah, no, I don't think that'd ever be added. No, 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 no. Because I just realized instead of just getting an E2 Cyrene, you can just instantly get ultimate on Huohuo right at the beginning in the first rotation in like a zero cycle or something. And then an extra 12 stacks just instantly makes her hit 24. And then her E2 would lose value. I don't think they do that. It doesn't matter as much as you would think. It's like 8 speed most of the time. I mean, 8 speed is 8 speed, man. That's pretty nice to get from a sustain who's also giving ER gen plus attack buffs. Well, I know she's gonna be stronger. I just don't know if they're gonna make like it starts to sound like an isekai MC. You know what I'm saying? Like entire team gets speed buff. I get increased attack buff. My attack buff is now stronger. I don't know, like 80%. Right. Fucking throwing a number out there. It's double over 40%. I now like do 50% ER gen to everybody's ultimate. I'm now SP neutral slash positive. I have more out of turn heals. I can basic more often at proc follow ups from Kafka. My Eidolons are probably buffed as well. Like, would they really go that far? I don't know. Maybe. And then if they do go that far, another thing we need to ask ourselves, if there is going to be an elation sustain in the version, how the fuck are they supposed to power creep Whoa? It's not going to be a healthy power creep if that ends up being the case. I need like 8 more speed on all my units. Yeah, 8 speed is actually like pretty useful. It can make it much easier to hit like certain speed thresholds on, let's say, well, obviously Cyrene teams. That can also help. But what's it called? Dot team especially. Buff Sparkle, right? Let's say you run main DPS Ashvale and you use sustain team with Woho and buff speed. You can get Sparkle with like S5 DDD equals that. I think, what is it, 167 speed? I believe that's the speed she needs with S5 DDD plus Eagle. to act 3 times in a 0 cycle. So you make that a lot easier to attain with a Woho who buffs your speed. Now you realistically only need about, what, like 159? Something like that. What they gonna do with Seal? Okay. Chat, let me know if this is a hot take. People have disagreed with me every time I've said this. I think Seal Nova Flare will be stronger than Archer. Agree or disagree? That's wild, you think? Doubt? Disagree? Well, no matter what, they'll buff her Eidolons. They buff the Eidolons of every Nova Flared character, without exception. I actually think you can see this. I think you can see this on Pride 1. Yeah. So, red was how much the Eidolons buffed them before, and green is how much the Eidolons buffed them now. So you can get a taste of like how much they buff the Eidolons. Burp. Can Yao Guang Archer work in pure fiction? Yes. They'll give her quantum resonance just watch. What, like mono quantum? So she runs like what, Buff Sparkle and Nova Flare Silverwolf? Who the fuck's the sustain? Fu Xuan? In the big 26? Or are we just assuming sustainless here? Nova Flare Fu Xuan? Yeah, I don't think HSR cares about elements anymore either. Locking a Nova Flare Seal's value to specifically being paired with quantum characters is like, it's not good. I mean, they literally removed the mono quantum trace on Sparkle and just made it a general attack buff instead. Why is everyone treating Yao Guang like Sunday in the Castris release? Because they can't read. They think the mainly generalist support with a slight bias towards summon DPSs is the same as the almost entirely dedicated Elation support who can slightly be used in generalist teams. They're like complete opposites of each other. Even then, when you look at like Sunday's buffs, here's the thing I've talked to people about before. Yao Guang is much more similar to like a Hyacine buffing max HP, right? Or a Everknight who specifically buffs Remembrance character damage. Sunday, even in his like extra buffs that he gave if you were a summon DPS, they were normal buffs like extra damage bonus or defense shred in his E1, right? None of it was like a unique buff towards those specific types of characters. So Yao Guang is a completely different situation. Oh my god, man. I didn't even realize this. Firefly is second after the Remembrance DPSs because of Dahlia investment. Oh my fucking god. It's crazy what the difference of like one shield teammate can make. Actually, can't I see this myself? Firefly isn't even on here pre-Dahlia. $43. 43 against normal Aquila. Glow up to Plight with 20. Jesus. Can't imagine what it will be with Nova Flare Firefly. I mean, she'll probably be stronger than every team except maybe Monorem. But to be honest, I also bet money that she's stronger than Monorem. This has been my take for a while now. Nova Flare Firefly will be stronger than every version 3 team. Locking it in. Well, if they give her the buffs I think they're going to give her. If they make the Nova Flare incredibly underwhelming for whatever reason, because maybe they're too scared to make her already stronger than the V3 teams, I mean, maybe that wouldn't happen, but my bet has always been she'd be better than Monorem. Well, keep in mind, Monorem has goated E6s. So, that also depends on what investment. But, like, for 99% of players, Firefly would be stronger. Oh, yeah, exactly. Monorem gets Nova Flared. Phanon gets Nova Flared. Ceredra gets Nova Flared. And the Chrysosayers are back above Firefly. And, you know, it goes like that. Phanon at 21, though. Phanon at 21, not bad. I guess Buff Sparkle really helped them. This isn't even E2 Buff Sparkle either. I bet the E2 Buff Sparkle would have made a decent difference, probably. What if they make Firefly E2 on base kit? That's what I think they'll do. That's been my bet for a while now. Oh yeah, I know, Yumi. Yeah. Monorem at max possible investment is kinda in its own tier. So it's not that I don't think there will be future teams who could also match, if not surpass it, at the same level of investment, but it's really good for like whales, I'd say, for the most part. Like the shilling for Monorem and the fact that every like character is, well, let me be honest, Cassie, okay? Cassie, until you start getting into like kind of whale levels of investment for the team, kind of hinders it in its performance as compared to a hypercarry Evernight. But once you know, hit it running with the investment, It's like an exponential increase. Like a massive increase. All right, chat. This was a pretty fun stream. We talked about a lot of different things, a lot of different teams, a lot of different DPSs. Appreciate you all stopping by. I am going to end it here, though. I love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a